All right. Good afternoon. Just like to welcome all our new Warriors that signed this morning. It is an incredible whirlwind. We should sell tickets for it. Last 2 weeks, you're on the road during the week. You're back here for home visits or back here for official visits, back on the road. I told this earlier. I felt like Jason Bourne, which makes me feel pretty good. But just really happy with the staff, really appreciative of Dave Matlin. When I took the job, we talked about the need for a recruiting coordinator and for him to be able to allow me to hire Jason Severko and the job he's done, just organizationally and staying on top of guys. He's done a fantastic job. Without him, I don't know if we'd be able to put this class together. Obviously the staff, everybody from compliance to travel to everyone helping setting up official visits, all the aloha around the state when the guys were on their visits. It really made a difference. One in particular kid, and this is the first time I heard this in recruiting. We talk about the diversity. We talk about the melting pot of Hawaii. We talk a lot about Hawaii. The aloha in Hawaii. He said the thing that sold him was the diversity, and I think we need to celebrate that more. That sold the kids. So it was a late night, early morning, a lot of busy fingers on the phones, and just trying to convince parents and the kids that they were making the right decision. And ultimately, in their heart, they felt our staff was genuine, and Hawaii, academically and athletically, was going to give them a great opportunity to grow in the future. So can't wait for them to get here. I hope we embrace them like our own, because they came here not because of me, not because of the school. It's to be part of Hawaii, and I think that's pretty important. And I'm very appreciative of theirs and their families' trust in our staff to grow them into what we call men of aloha. But it's it's a heck of a ride, I'll tell you what. But we hit people from all over, right? Australia, Samoa, Canada, all up and down the West Coast, California, got into Idaho, reopened Arizona, Washington. I think the class has spread. One of the more pleasing things is how the class is spread over all the position groups. Without taking quarterback, we wanted to definitely address the line of scrimmage. I think if you're going to win this conference, you better start winning the line of scrimmage. You see what San Diego State does. You see Wyoming make the jump because they can control the line of scrimmage and run the ball. Really happy with the two tackles we got, Micah and Kipper. We don't know where Josiah is going to play yet, but he's another guy. We like the size we got in this group. I like the two different running backs we got in this group, with Miles and Hakili. Different guys that can bring different things to our offense. Receivers, one who's already on campus, and two young guys, Drake and Isaiah. I just feel like we spread it out really good. One big, tall, pass-catching, familiar name tight end. And then defensively, we got 4 to 5 D linemen that are most of them are young, but they're going to be able to compete early. Especially, probably the biggest battle was with Anthony Murmia, and he just was unsure. And at the end of the day, his heart told him Hawaii, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player for us. And then the other thing we wanted to address was DBs. So if we oversigned a position, it was probably DBs, taking 6 of them. Good thing 3 of them are on campus already. One being JC with Manu, and we're excited to get all those guys. Now we're ready to get into spring ball. But to have 3 new DBs in here for spring ball is a good deal for us. So it was a fun ride. We met a lot of people. Really got to thank a lot of our fan base through social media is incredibly helpful to just heads up on guys, what's happening with guys. We got people that really care about this program, and I feel it. I hope you feel it, and we just gotta, keep moving forward. 7-7 is not good enough, and I think this class is going to help us get over that 500 hump. So, we going questions? All right, let's go questions. I do better with questions. Yes, Sam. Why?
Coach, you hit on size a
Sam.
little bit. It really jumps off the page how big this class is. Was that something that you went in knowing you wanted to improve?
A little bit, I think it's hard to, every year you hear around the country it's hard to find defensive tackles, and with Doug Russell and Murmia and Blessman, you got inside guys that can have the weight to contribute right now and have the ability to contribute. So if you can get good up front, it makes everything a little bit easier.
Paul Scott, tell us a little bit about that kid and what was behind that.
What was behind it was Coach Kofense Henson. He really developed a nice relationship with Paul. Paul was, we knew for a few days. It's hard when you don't, in this era where the commitments, they're all on Twitter. He said, I'm going to commit, but I'm not telling anybody. You want to believe him. And Kofense is so cool, so he's calm and collected, so you feel confident about it. But he ended up doing it this morning. They just incredible. Both our linebackers we got, Panay and Paul, are incredibly physical players that have a lot of athletic ability. Coming downhill, I think we're going to be physical at that level too, moving forward.
Miles Reed, the stats obviously are what they are. I know Centennial runs a really high prolific offense, but watching him, what jumped out to you?
A guy works in the school by the name of Mike Bass. He was a big help with us. Brian Smith was on him. I think we offered him he had a bet. Was it March? He had a bet with somebody. He was going to get his first offer before a certain date, and we offered him about a week before that date. So we've been on him a long time, and I thought, not only Brian but everyone, got behind Miles and felt wanted. Had a great home visit, some great chicken Alfredo, I really enjoyed meeting the families because that's where I think we do the best, when they see who we are as people. But with him and Hakili coming in, like I said, they're two different backs. I think Miles has a lot of shiftiness, but he's powerful too, and I think he'll get us that tough yards. And here's the people that don't get enough credit, our hosts, like Freddie Hawley. Freddie Hawley hosts Miles, and to be that unselfish, to tell the kid how good it's going to be when he gets here, they're going to play together. That's the mindset that's on this team that's really encouraging. They're not chasing guys away at competition. Because I told them all. I told Freddie the same thing. I'm going to try to out-recruit you next year. So they have to keep rising their game. Like we told this group, we're going to try to out-recruit them next year until, we get you can't get complacent, not in football.
This whole process for you, especially these past few days, what has that been like? You get to recruit.
Tired.
With a
Tired.
whole,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, you get to
Sorry,
recruit
Steve,
with a whole season of your work, sort of to stand beside. It's not somebody else's team anymore; it's yours. So when it comes down to these, sort of final pressure days, what has that been like for you?
I think our senior group that left us, by willing us to end the season with 3 wins and come out bowl champions, that pushed a lot of our edge guys in recruiting over the top. They feel it when they're around our hosts and our team, the community. A lot of people smiling when we go out to dinner with these guys, and that's really one of the more special things. Everyone likes scoring the touchdowns and the crowd cheering, but on your everyday life, you're an inspiration to young kids, and you're making, grandpa smile. That's a nice way to live. And these guys saw that when we traveled around the island, like I said, for meals. But I think that all goes back to the 2016 team believing in kind of our mission and our plan, and the seniors willing it into action. So I think it's all connected.
A bunch of guys not from here, but they definitely have ties. Guys like Manu and Cade, what can you say about them?
Manu and who? Oh, Cade.
Cade, yeah.
Manu, you know, incredible athlete. He could play any of the positions in the defensive secondary. I think he, you know, being on campus, he's already been working out, has really impressed Bubba with his ability, his athleticism. He's just a good football player, you know, and you can't have enough of those on your football team. Cade was a guy, you know, we were on, obviously, you know, his sister, she had surgery yesterday, so everybody give her, thanks Stephen for that heads up. But Cade, you know, he came in the summertime with his brother and his father, and you know, he's a 6'5", 225-pound target. You know, you see how valuable a guy like Tuiunga could be in the bowl game when he's healthy and playing tough. And hopefully, we wanted to get a young guy to watch how he goes and prepares, and hopefully groom him to be one of those next guys at tight end for us. Because I think the position is critical right now in college football. You didn't get called on, Steven. I mean, go ahead, Steve. Go
How are
ahead.
you able to recruit a guy who's on a mission? It seemed like there were a lot of different elements that you have to go through to actually
Yeah.
reach him.
Yeah, it is, and it's, you know, email access once a week. This started, you know, Hakili has been committed a long time. Again, Coach Smith, I think, did a nice job getting to know his family, you know, who's not on the mission with him, you know. So it's not just recruiting Hakili. And he's got relatives and connections to the island also. So, but he really early on felt the positive direction we were going and said he wanted to jump in. So he probably one of our earlier commits, right, Jace? Yeah, probably one of our earlier ones. We just, you know, he'll finish up in a few months and then hopefully join us for the bridge program. But here's the other thing, you know, in this group, if you took their GPA, it's probably over a 3.0 as high school students. Smart, tough, big guys, you know, I think that's a good start to the future of this program. And he's one of them. Ivy League, Stanford, Arkansas, Vandy, you know, and then, but they go on a mission, right? Some people might lose track of them, and, you know, I don't know how the initial discovery went, but we got on them pretty quick once we found them.
So you weren't able to bring him in for a visit?
No.
Based on whatever's here?
Yeah. Anything else, Steven?
Your top 10 list yesterday was David Letterman caliber.
Oh, thank you.
Did you anticipate it being this difficult with the competition for the local kids here?
No, I didn't. Not after the rise in the feeling in the community, not after a bowl game win. That I may have underestimated, I don't know. But I can't sit here and say we didn't try, because we did. As a guy who came from the mainland, I know how important that local boy is on this team. I'm not where I'm at without a local boy taking me in, and I know how important that is. But we have a lot of work to do still, and that's all of us in this community, all of us at UH, all of us in the football program. We got to keep fighting and keep building. You know, did I think we made good progress? Yeah, I think we got guys close. But we got to keep going. There's no stopping. There's no giving up. There's no fighting back at them. Now the top 10 was a joke, you know. But here's the real deal. The tweet after it, you know, these kids just signed a scholarship to get a free education and play football and live out a dream. You know, I think that's a tremendous accomplishment. It doesn't matter where you go, but it seems to be a struggle and a battle. So we got to come up with a new plan, or at least be more consistent, or start earlier. But it's something we really got to look at. So But I can't say it's for a lack of effort. And I don't want those guys that did choose to go away to feel like we're mad at them. I tell everybody, I don't care if it's one of the 23 guys we signed or 26 guys we signed or, Tua. You got to go to the best place for you. And if that's not UH this year, then that's okay. But we have to work harder at UH to make that place for this next group of young men coming forward. It's and you got Alabama and the SEC coming in. There's a different level with some of those guys. So, but this is not. It's not my life. It's not your life. It's not it's the young man's life. And if that's what he wants, I just want to make sure that in their heart, that's what they want to do. All right. Thank you, guys.